स्पीक क्या करेगा, उसका अंगूठा नीचे हो रहा है। ठीक है। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् गणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णा प्रेम प्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्णा चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थेषुभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदायादिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् स्वस्ति अस्तु विश्वस्य खलः प्रसीदतां ध्यायन्तु भूतानि शिवं मिथो धिया मनश्च भद्रं भजतादधोक्षजे आवेश्यतां नो मतिरभ्यहेतुकी। We're reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 87, continuation of verse number 2. Parikshit Maharaj had asked a question in the first verse, that Brahman who is beyond the gunas, who is ineffable, beyond Sat and Asat, how can the Vedas describe that in words? Words which are meant to be also within the gunas, gunavrittaya katham charanti. So Sukadeva Goswami then replied with a mysterious verse where he says that Prabhu or the Master, the Lord, created intellect, senses, mind and prana of living beings so that they can get the result of their past karma, they can perform new karma and they can attain moksha. Buddhi indriya mana pranam jana nama srijat prabhu matrartham cha bhavartham cha atmane kalpanaya cha. So we read part of the commentary by Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, where he explained that words have 4 types of meaning. Which are those? Abhida,
So there was Dravya, Jati, Kriya and Guna.
So those are the 4 meanings of Padartha. Those are the pravritti nimitta for a meaning. Dravya, Jati, Guna, Kriya. Means either it is a substance, it is a quality, it is class, or it is an action. This also comes in Harinama Vritti Vyakarana, if you remember, in the first sutra, second sutra, I think first Akhyat Prakarana, when he is describing Nam. So we read part of the commentary and now we continue. So he was explaining that this Brahman can be explained and can be understood by the grace because he is Prabhu, so he can do something which is generally not possible. And he gave the example of Matsya Avatar, who spoke to King Satyavrata, Madhiyam Mahimanam cha Param Brahmeti Shabditam Vetsya Anugrahitam me Samprashnair Vivritam Hridi. That my Mahima, my glory is called Param Brahma, and you will understand that through the process of question and answer, the meanings will be revealed in your heart. So he comments on this sloka, Asya arthaha mama mahimanam mahattu rupam. So Madhya Mahimanam means my Mahima, and Mahimanam here he says Mahattu Rupam means the expanded or expansive form which is all pervading. So Sarva Vyapakatva Lakshanam, so which is Vyapaka, which is all pervasive. And Brahma, it is called Brahma. That is actually the meaning also of Brahman, one of the meaning, that it is all pervading, great. Vetsyasiti tatra hetu. And what is the reason how that you will know this? So it says, Me maya anugrahitum prasadikritam. So you will know it not just because of your own self, but because of my prasad, my grace, because of my blessing, you will understand it. Otherwise it is not possible. Mad atyanta prasadam vina brahmane sakshat sabda nirdishtatvam na sambhavet ityartha. So the meaning is that without my extreme grace, atyanta prasada, it is not possible that Brahman can be explained directly in the words. Because how will you explain if it is nirguna nirakara? Words speak about things which are having name, form, qualities. अतः मदनुकंपित्व रूप हेतु अन्यथानुपत्ते व्यवधानेन शब्द निर्दिष्टत्वं न व्याख्यायम्. So therefore, without my anukampa, without my grace, Brahman cannot be explained in the Shabda. So this is Anyatha Anupatti, that cannot be explained by any other means, only through the grace. तथा एतत् व्याख्यान अभ्युपगमे शब्दितमिति padasya vayartham sat iti api gayam. So if we understand this meaning, then the word shabditam will become futile, because it says madhyam mahimanam cha parabrahma iti shabditam. Swami Charano Vyakhyatam Yatha. Sridhar Swami has explained as follows. Me maya anugrahitum prasadikritam parabrahma hridaya proksham vetsyasiti. So he has also said that by my grace, means when I will bless, then this parabrahma will manifest in the heart. You will know that. Bhagavat kripaya Śrīmad Arjunena api Brahma sakshat drashtam. By the grace of Sri Krishna, Arjuna also saw Brahman directly. Although Brahman has no form, but still by Krishna's grace he was able to perceive it. Yatha Harivamse Vipra Kumara Aharana Prasange Tam Prati Bhagavad Vakyam. As there is the statement by Sri Krishna to Arjuna in Harivansa Purana, in the description of bringing the children of the Brahmana back, which were stolen by Mahavishnu. So this story is there in Bhagavatam also. I think it will come later, chapter 88, I think. So this is Brahmana whose children were disappearing right after birth, and he came for help while criticizing the Yadavas. So then Arjuna took the vow that he will protect, but he was not able to protect. And then he wanted to burn himself alive. So then Krishna stopped him and he took him to Mahakalpura, that is place of Mahavishnu. And the children were there, they brought them back, but in the way there was an intense light. So then Krishna tells him, Brahma Tejo Mayam Divyam Mahadiyad Drishtavanasi Aham Sa Bharta Shrestha Mat Tejas Tat Sanatanam. So he says that this divine great effulgence which you saw, that is my Teja, and it is called Brahman. So that means Arjuna actually had Brahm Sakshatkar. Generally you cannot have Brahm Sakshatkar without merging into Brahman, because Brahman is all pervading, and the only way you know it is by identifying with it. And if you identify with it, then you are no more there to explain. But here, that's why he says that by my prasad, by my grace, it is possible. So he says Brahma Tejomayam Divyam Mahad. So this Mahad, this big divine effulgent, that is Brahman, and that he says Aham Sa, I am that, O Arjuna, Mat Tejas Tat Sanatanam, that is my eternal effulgence. So that's why it is sometimes described as the Jyoti or effulgence of Krishna's form. Prakriti sa mama para vyakta vyakta sanatani tam pravishya bhavanti iha mukta yoga viduttama. And this is my Prakriti, means it is my nature or my energy, which is beyond Vyakta and Vyakta, beyond manifest and unmanifest. It is eternal, and those who enter into it, the yogis, they become liberated. Sa sadhyanam gati partha yogi nam cha tapasvinam It is the destination of sadhyas, yogis, tapasvis. Tatparam param brahma sarvam vibhajate jagat. And this is called param brahma, and the universe manifests from this. Mamaiva tad ghanam tejo gyatum arhasi bharata. So this is my tej, my effulgence. Arjuna, you should know this. And this is the Brahma. So this is the explanation of the sloka. Madhyam mahimanam cha param brahma iti shabditam vedsasi anugrahitam me vivrata saprasnai samprasnai hriday. Now he comes back to the Bhagavatam sloka.
Babaji, the sadhana here, is it bhakti or jnana he is talking? Because initially when he mentions kalpanam, he will just say buddhyadinam samarpanam. So I don't understand.
Which sadhana?
Are they is he talking about jnana marga or bhakti marga still here? That is what I'm thinking.
Where you are talking?
Yeah, here when he says attaining Brahman, he is saying you will attain Brahman by my grace.
That he is a devotee.
Yeah, so that is with Arjuna, it's fine, but the previous section when he's just talking...
When the previous sloka is also spoken to devotee Satyavrata.
Oh, okay. Satmarga, Sanmarga. Okay.
So now he gives an alternative explanation of this sloka. Yadva bhorajan nirvisheshe brahmani shrutayo naiv chalanti. Alternatively, as if Shukdev is saying that, O king, the Vedas do not explain nirvishesh Brahman. As it is said in Bhagavatam by Brahma, Shabdona yatra purukaraka van kriyartha. That Shabda does not reach there. Although Shabda explains the kriyas, activities, means the Vedas are speaking about the they are speaking about the kriya, action, because most of the Veda is about yajna and it is not explaining the Brahman. Iti brahmoktes tatha savisheshe sachidananda kare brahmani api shruteyo na charanti. So Brahman is of two types, nirvishesh Brahman and savishesh Brahman. So first he says that the Shrutis do not explain the nirvishesh Brahman. Then he says that they also do not explain the savishesh Brahman, who is Sachidananda Vigraha, whose body is transcendental. Tasya prakrit jatyadi padartha atitatvat. Because he is beyond the material name, qualities, class, activities, etc. But furthermore, kincha satvadayo na santishe yatra cha prakrita guna iti Vaishnavokte. In the Vishnu Puran it is said that in him there are no prakrit gunas such as sattva, rajas and tamas. So when it is said that there are no material gunas in him, what does it indicate? That he has transcendental gunas. Otherwise, why to say that he has no material gunas? Then you should simply say he has no gunas. But if you put an adjective before gunas, that indicates that he has non-material gunas. So, iti Vaishnavokto prakrita na santi. By saying that there are no material gunas in him, iti ukte aprakrita santi iti labhyate. From that it comes that there are aprakrita or transcendental qualities in him. And there are statements to that effect in the Shruti, in the Vedas. Sakshi Cheta Kevlah Nirgunascha, that he is a witness, he is conscious, he is pure, and he is nirguna. Ityadina nirgunatvepi aprakrita sakshitvadi gunoktescha. So although this Shruti statements informs us that he is nirguna, but at the same time it says that he is sakshi, he is a witness, he is a seer. So that means he has got quality to see. But he is nirguna, so that means that he does not have material gunas. He has got spiritual gunas. And Vedaischa sarvai rahameva vedya ityadi smritescha. In Bhagavad Gita also Sri Krishna says that from all the Vedas I am to be known. Aprakrita ananta guna anvaye tasmin sabda pravritti nimitta nama prakrit jatya danam sattvat sakshadeva shrutiyas tatra charanti. So then if he has got non-material qualities, non-material form, non-material actions, then it comes that he can be described by the Vedas, where the word, etc., their pravritti nimitta are non-material. Means the cause of using those words is not material. So pravritti nimitta means that the nimitta or the cause in using a particular word. Why this word is used for this thing? Because in Sanskrit words have meaning. All nouns have meaning. And they are generally referring either to quality or some action or class. So if God is beyond material qualities, material form, material actions, then he must have non-material. And then the Shabda must carry those pravritti nimittas. So that's what he's saying. Sakshadeva Shrutiyas tatra charanti. Therefore Shrutis, the Vedas, directly describe him. And for that he says this word, Buddhi Indriya Mana Pranan Jana Nama Srijat Prabhu Matra Artham Cha Bhavartham Cha Atmane Kalpanaya Cha. So he gives now another explanation. Buddhi padena mahattattva indriya padena shabdadi akash vikarya jnanam cha bodhyate. So the word buddhi refers to the mahattattva and indriya refers to shabdadi akashadi karya jnanam, the knowledge of the shabda etc., which are the karya of akasha. Matrartham Shabdadinam Brahmani api pravritti artham. So matrartham biyanta iti matra, that by which you know, understand. So that means that you can utilize this buddhi, indriya, mana, prana, etc. to know him also. Matrartham. Matra means to know. So Shabdadinam Brahmani pravritti artham buddhyadin asrijat. So God created, or God gave us buddhi etc. to know him. Matra parichade desha pravrittau karnabhushanai iti anusasnat. So the word matra refers to parichada, covering des, place, pravritti. Pravritti means to be engaged. So matrartham means to engage. He is taking that meaning now. That these buddhi etc. can be engaged in knowing him. Pranadikam vina vachnasya api asambhavat mane adi srishtir api sabdravritti artha geya. And without prana, vachana, that means the statement or the words of speaking, is not possible. So therefore he also created that. Mana adi srishti rapi sabdpravritti artha geya. So that means the creation of mind, senses, indriya, the prana, etc. was also for matrartham, means for engaging in knowing him. सृष्टेः फलांतरमपि आह bhavartham jivanam kalyanartham. So then creation also has other purpose. Now he is giving an alternative meaning to matrartham, bhavartham and atmane kalpanaya cha. So earlier he gave the meaning matra, that okay, for experiencing your past karma, bhava for creating new karma, etc. Now he is giving alternative meaning, that matrartham. Now he is taking that these senses, etc. are there for engaging in knowing Brahman. And therefore matra means pravritti, to engage, and bhava means kalyan, welfare. So therefore it says bhavartham jivanam kalyanartham. Bhave bhadre hare prapto. So the word bhava means auspicious, hari, hara, that is Shiva, and prapti, to attain iti anushasanat. So therefore it is also for doing welfare. Tatha atmane swasmai buddhyadi nama prakrita nam yachayat kalpanam sumupashitum viniyogas tasmai. And atmane kalpanaya means to engage these buddhi, etc. in the worship. Kalpanam here is worship. Viniyogas tasmai. Yatha Gopal Tapni Shruti, as there is a Shruti statement in Gopal Tapni Upanishad. Satpundarik Nayanam Meghabham Vaidyutambaram Dibhujam Jnana Mudradhyam Vanmalinam Ishwaram. So I pray to Lord who has lotus eyed, whose bodily hue is like the rain cloud, whose clothes are like lightning. He has 2 arms, and he is having the Jnana Mudra, the pose of knowledge, and he is having a garland of forest flowers, one mala. So here he is being described, and this is not material. Atra siddha bhaktanam aprakrit buddhi indriyair aprakrit pundarik megh vidyutam sugrahatvat tabhir upamiteshu bhagwan nayan vapur vasaneshu aprakriti tapni shrutir bhagwan nayanadir varnetri sukheneva charti. So he is applying this sloka of Gopal Tapani Upanishad to the Siddha Bhaktas and to the Sadhakas. So he says, as far as Siddha Bhaktas are concerned, they perceive him directly as he is in his transcendental form. So they see that he is, because their intelligence, their senses, their mind, their life here is also aprakrita, non-material. So Siddha Bhaktanam aprakrit buddhi indriyai. So with their non-material senses, they experience non-material eyes, non-material dress, non-material color of Bhagavan. That is their experience. So therefore it says sugrahatvatva, they have no problem in having experience of his non-material form. Bhagavan nayan vapur vasnesu prakriti. So then this Shruti, this statement from Gopal Tapani Upanishad, for them it is explaining God as transcendental. When it is said that he has lotus eyes, here lotus is not the lotus which we experience, but the transcendental lotus. When it is said that he has meghabham, that his abha is bodily hue is like the rain cloud, that is not like this cloud. So therefore he says that these Shrutis are directly describing him in relationship with the Siddha Bhaktas. And what about Sadhak Bhakta? Sadhak bhaktanam tu buddhyadibhir agrahyatvapi. For the sadhak bhaktas, he is unapproachable by their intelligence, their mind, their senses, their life hairs. It is not possible. So then, how does this Shruti help them? Tatatra prakrita pundarika adi sadrishya aropanaiva te yatha kathanchideva buddhim praveshyanti. So what they do is that they take the meaning of lotus etc. described here, that he has lotus eyes. So they take the meaning as material lotus and then somehow try to fix their material intelligence onto him. Kathanchid. So somewhat. Praveshyantas chittagagrena api vastuto asprishta tadrupavahasapi. So even if they try to completely focus their mind on him, they cannot touch him, they cannot approach him, they cannot reach him. Vastuto asprishta tadrupa bhasa api bhagavantam prabhum dhyayamana iti abhimanino rishyanti. But they think that they are meditating on the form of Bhagavan and they feel happy. So this is a very startling statement by Vishwanath Chakravarti, because I have heard many times people saying, oh, I had darshan of Bhagavan. Some devotee speaking like that. So he says that it is not. It is not that it is not possible, but the type of people who are speaking it, they are not that type. So he says that they feel happy. He is also saying that thinking, having this abhiman, this pride that I have seen, or I am seeing, or I am meditate, hirshanti, they feel. And Bhagavan also blesses them. Says Bhagavan api apara kripa taranga aveshadevam evir bhaktairaham dhyata. Bhagavan also, because of his unlimited grace, he also thinks that okay, I have been meditated upon by these people. Although in their meditation, their mind cannot touch him, but he accepts it. Iti abhimanyamana stan bhakti paripake sati tan svabhakta svacharnantikam sevartham anayati. So then these type of devotees, sincerely if they continue, then when their bhakti becomes mature, then Krishna calls them to himself to do seva. Iti bhagavat sarupasya shrutir gamyatvam tat kripaya eva siddham. So therefore the Shruti is explain him only through his grace and not otherwise. There is no other way.
Babaji, here I have one question. When we talk about bhakti in general, we take it as Swarupa Shakti from the very beginning stages itself up till completion. So when he is giving this process, when they meditate like this in the sense, so that means it is somebody who has already had Shraddha, he has heard this Vakya from sadhus, so his bhakti has already begun from there. So some amount of Swarupa Shakti is there. So now this is where I am getting confused. So his jnana about Bhagavan, that is aropa from his material experience, no doubt. So where is the Swarupa Shakti aspect coming here into this jnana? I am not understanding.
Only this much, that he is on this path. Otherwise he will not be.
Okay, so the conception of bhakti, that his intention or desire to do bhakti is the Swarupa Shakti aspect. That jnana is the Swarupa Shakti aspect.
So basically, if you really want to know the truth, which is a little bit depressing, that this so-called bhakti which we do, it is only bhakti abhas. It's really not bhakti. It is only semblance of that. But we can feel happy, as he was saying, that we are doing bhakti. So hrisyanti cha. And God also accepts that. But bhakti begins only when actually you become free from all these anarthas and you have that ruchi asakti bhav.
Yeah, so this is
at the level of bhav only.
It is pure bhakti.
Then only it starts.
Yeah.
Before that, that's why before that it is called sadhana bhakti.
So if we take Jiva's understanding of ruchi, when he says that all their anarthas, means in the sense their gross anarthas are not present from very starting. In Raganuga Bhakti, when we take ruchi as
but who is having that?
Yeah, correct. So so when we take that ruchi, so that ruchi will be an aspect of Swarupa Shakti then. So then when they are doing say meditation like this after hearing, so but that is also not completely.
Yeah.
So that is where I'm getting confused. So people who have ruchi and they are doing meditation like this, so it is not completely directly Bhagavan also, but then I don't know where to put it.
So that's why there he says you do aropa of the material concept onto him, what you have heard.
Correct. So the ruchi is then giving that shakti to the aropa.
Yeah. So another question, this is the end of comment on sloka number 2. If there is any other question on this? Yes.
Babaji, I don't think I heard if it has been explained what is meant with manas in Buddhi, Indriya, Mana and Prana. So is the manas there?
Manas means mind.
Yeah, the one part of the four, because manas sometimes is referring to all four, but here it's only the one, right?
Yeah. Because without manas, the indriya cannot perceive anything. And then you need buddhi to understand what is coming through the indriya.
I don't remember anymore what it means, this nirvishesha and sabvishesha.
Nirvishesha means that there are no qualities.
Okay, without quality.
Yeah.
And sabvishesha?
With qualities.
With qualities. Okay. And then the other thing is like this, this type of devotees, basically the second part, the second that you mentioned. You say that if this type of devotee, they are sincerely continuing in this, let's say, practice, then Krishna will call them and give to them seva.
Means you will become perfect.
They will become perfect. Okay. At one point, they will enter in the second. Okay. Thank you.
Babaji.
So is it that we are practicing Aropsiddha Bhakti at this stage?
Sadhana Bhakti.
What's the difference in Sadhana Bhakti and Aropsiddha Bhakti?
What do you mean by Aropsiddha?
Superimposing our material conceptions upon the spiritual.
No, that's not. You don't understand. Read again what is Aropsiddha.
Okay.
Okay. So sloka number 3. Saisa hi Upanishad Brahmi Purvasham Purvajaidhrita Shraddhaya Dharyedhyastam Kshemam Gaccheda Kinchanaha. So now Sukadeva Goswami, before he has replied his question. In his question is already replied that it is possible that Vedas explain. And now the second thing he is saying is that the reply which he is going to actually give, this is not something which he is making it up himself, but he is repeating something which already was spoken. So So Sukadeva Goswami therefore says that Saisa hi Upanishad. That's why this Shruti Stuti is very important. It is like the essence of the Upanishads. So the very word Upanishad is used here. That this is Brahmi, that this is related to Brahman, it is Upanishad. And Purvesham Purvajai Dhrita. It was upheld, this knowledge was upheld by the Purvaja who were born before the ancestors, which here refers to the 4 Kumaras who are sons of Brahma. And Shraddhya Dharyet Yastam Kshemam Gaccheda Kinchana. And one who will uphold this knowledge will attain Kshema, auspiciousness, and ultimately become free from the bondage of karma, means become liberated. Generally, you see that Falshruti comes at the end. After some story has been explained, then they say some nice sloka that anyone who hears this, anyone who reads this, he will get this, he will get that. Here it is already being given in advance. The Falshruti says, Shraddhya Dharye Destam Kshemam Gaccheda Kinchana. One who will uphold this knowledge with faith will attain auspiciousness, means freedom from bondage, and attain the ultimate goal of life. So this is a simple sloka, so there is not much comment on this. Sa prasiddha esha slokdai prashnottarmai brahmi upanishad bhavati. So he says that these first 2 slokas, Parikshit's question and Sukadev's reply to that, these 2 slokas, this is the Brahmi Upanishad, this is also Upanishad, and it is related with Brahman. And avabhyam avirbhuta eva netu avabhyam eva krita. So he says that even this question which you have asked is actually not that you yourself has made up this question has become manifest in you, and the reply which I have given to you is also not just my reply, but this reply has become manifest in me. And this has happened earlier also, the same question and answer was done before, and now that has come through your mouth and my mouth. That's what he intends to say here. Natu avabhyam eva krita yata purvasham Sri Naradadinam purvajai sankadibhi swanta karneshu dhrita. Because this question and answer and this knowledge was upheld by the ancestors like Sri Narada, and also the Purvaja of Narada, because Sankadis are the firstborn of Brahma. Narada comes later, so they are Purvaja, they are elder to him. So then, because the original dialogue will be between Sanat Kumara and Rishi Narayana. Narada, Sanat Kumara will speak. And then sloka number 4. Atrate vanishyami gatham narayananvitam nardasya cha samvadam rishe narayanasya cha. He says, now I will describe to you the story which is related to Narayana. And Narayana here refers to Swayam Bhagavan Krishna. And then I will also recite to you the dialogue between Narada and Rishi Narayana. So there is a Rishi Narayana and there is Narayana Bhagavan. Twice the word Narayana is used in the sloka. First is used for Bhagavan Narayana, and second for Rishi Narayana, Narayana Rishi who are in the Badrika Ashram. So there is a dialogue between Narada and him. So he refers to that. Uktartham dradhahitum itihasam avtarati. So to make the reply firm, strong, he describes the history here. Atra prasange gatham ityasam. In this context, there is this following story that I will describe. Chiramatitam api varnishyami ityartha. Although this happened long, long ago, but I will describe it now. Narayano mahat srashtadi purushtraya ashraya sarvjiva ashrayasya. The word Narayana refers to that who is the shelter of the Nara. Nara now has two meanings. One is that it refers to the three Purushas, Karnadakshay Vishnu, Garbhodakshay Vishnu, Kshirodakshay Vishnu, and also all the living beings, Jiva Ashrayasya. So all of them, he is the shelter of them. Satu Narayanastam nahi sarvdehinam ityadi anusarane swam Bhagavan Sri Krishna. And that Narayana is no other than but Sri Krishna himself. Because Brahma in his prayers on the 14th chapter of this canto, he said, Narayanastam nahi. Are you not that Narayana yourself? Saiva anvita kramopsangharadisu anugato. And this also is understood from the beginning and end part of what is coming there. So therefore, this is about Krishna. Why he is paying so much stress on this being Krishna is that this Shruti Stuti, they have been interpreted in many different ways. And there is a lot of interpretation of them in the form of Brahman. But because our acharyas, they explain them in relationship to Sri Krishna Swam Bhagavan. So he is making the ground for that. That's why he's saying that the word Narayana here is Swam Bhagavan Krishna. And because the sloka says Narayana Anvita, that including Narayana, which he means that in the beginning and end he is pervading in it. Yasyam tam naradasya param bhagavatatvat Shri Bhagavan Mahatmyam eva uddeshyam iti siddhanta suchite. And because the dialogue is between Narada and Narayan Rishi, and Narada is a Param Bhagavata, so he is not going to question about Brahman. He will question about Krishna. Therefore, this is the Siddhanta indicated here in the very beginning, so that later on we do not get deviated. Ato Bhagavat Priya iti vakshate cha. Therefore, later in the next sloka, Narada is called Bhagavat Priya, or one who is dear to Bhagavan. Samvadam Samvadarupam. So this teachings are here, given here in the form of a dialogue. So now he explains, Ekda Narado Lokan Paryatan Bhagavat Priyaha Sanatanam Rishim Drashtum Yayo Narayana Ashramam. So once upon a time, Narada Rishi, while wandering on the different lokas, and Narada is called here as Bhagavat Priya, who is very dear to Bhagavan, he went to see the eternal Rishi, Narayan Rishi, in his ashram, Narayan Ashram, in the Badrika Ashram. Sanatanam Adyam Sri Bhagavantam Rishim Dharmputram Sri Narayana. So this Narayana who is in Badrika Ashram, he is son of Dharma. He was born to Dharma. Father's name is Dharma. Dharmputram. So he went to see him. Yo vai Bharatvarse Ashmin Kshemaya Swastaye Nirnam Dharma Jnana Shamopetam Akalpadastitas Tapaha. So he is situated in Bharatvarsha. He is also considered as the presiding deity of Bharatvarsha, Narayan Rishi. So for the welfare, for the auspiciousness of humanity, he exists there. and he is there from the beginning of the kalpa, means the very beginning of day of Brahma, performing austerities there. Dharma Gyan Samopetam, and he is endowed with dharma, knowledge, sama, all these qualities. Kshemaya Ahikaya Swastaye Amusmikaya. So there are two words used here, Kshemaya and Swastaye. So he said Kshema refers to welfare in this life, Swasti refers to welfare in the next life. Mangalaya for the auspiciousness of humanity. Loka Shikshartham Dharmadi Upetam Tapoyogam Swadharmam Vavastita. So for why is he doing tapasya? He says only to teach to humanity. And he is endowed with dharma, etc. And he is situated in his own dharma of tapas. What does the word dharma here mean? Dharma means bhakti upayogi jnanam, bhagavad vishayakam. That knowledge which is beneficial for bhakti means knowledge that is related with Bhagavan. So knowledge is also required on the path of bhakti, and that knowledge which is related to Bhagavan is also bhakti and should not be just thought of as knowledge only. And samo bhagavat chittata. And what does the word sama means? So sama means to fix the mind on Bhagavan. That is the viveka, discrimination. Akalpa brahmadi din prathamansam arabhya. So this Narayan Rishi is there in Badrikashram from the very beginning of Brahma's day and situated there. Tatrupvishtam rishibhi kalapagramavasibhi paritam pranato prachadidameva kurudvaha. So he was sitting there surrounded by the sages who are resident of Kalap, village Kalap. There is some village known as Kalap in the Himalayas. That's where Kalki Avatar will appear. So the sages live there in that village. So if you have heard of Madame Blavatsky, so she also talks about this Kalap Gram. And they give a lot of details actually, and they have visited it, the houses, how the sages are living. That lead beater was one of his followers. Annie Besant came later. So they also are related to this Kalap Gram. So Paritam Pranato, he was surrounded by all these sages. Then Narada Rishi bowed down to him and asked the very same question which Parikshit has asked to Sukadeva. That's why Sukadeva said that this question is not your question, but it has become manifest through you. So this question which Sukadeva asked, which Parikshit asked to Sukadeva, was asked by Narada to sage Narayana. Upavishtam Sri Narayanam. So Upavishtam means Sri Narayana was sitting. Idameva Brahman Brahmani Anirdesheti eva vadan. This very question, what is that? Brahman Brahmani Anirdeshe Shrutiya Gunavrittya Katham Charanti. So that very question was asked. Tasmai hi avochat Bhagwan Rishinam Srinvatam idam Yo Brahmavada Purvesham Janaloka Nivasinam. And then Bhagwan, he spoke to the sages who were listening to him. And what he spoke is called Brahmavada. Means it is knowledge about Brahman. Yo Brahmavada Purvesham Janaloka Nivasinam. And now this goes to one more level. That the same thing was also discussed in Janaloka by the Kumaras. That's why he said Purvesham Purvajai Dhritam. So here Purvesham is Narada and then Purvaja is them. So this story also happened there. Yo Brahmavado imameva rishinam madhyasthito bhagwan tasmai naradaya yavocha dityanva. So that which happened in Janloka, that very thing is related by Narayana Rishi to the sages and also to Narada, who had asked this question, Ovachati Anva. That is to be understood. So now Bhagavan will speak and he is going to tell that how this story happened in Janloka, and then he will repeat that. So that we will do tomorrow if there is any more question on this.
This name that he gives, Brahmi Upanishad, that is Vishwanath is giving or is from somewhere?
No, Brahmi Upanishad I think in the sloka itself.
Yeah, but they'll just say Upanishad, the name is not mentioned there.
No, there is no name.
Because Vishwanath in commentary he'll call it Brahmi Upanishad.
Brahmi means related with
just
Brahman.
Generally, yeah, okay.
There is no specific name of the Upanishad. Purushottam Prabhu.
Question about is Narayan name. Narayan is you say Krishna, first, and then second one is a Dharmaputra Narayan Rishi. So that Dharmaputra is also like Brahmaputra, and then came from Dharmaputra, and then become Narayan Rishi.
No, he is a son of Dharma. The story comes somewhere, 4th canto, or where does it come? Daksha's daughters.
Yes, he married to 13 daughters, I guess. Daksha's Dharmaputra.
So this Dharma was born there.
So is this Narayanam is like a Jiva Tattva then, or is this still a Vishnu Tattva then?
Which one? Narayan?
Narayan Ansha, he says, one is a Dharmaputra, son of Dharmaputra.
No, he is Vishnu
Narayan
Tattva.
Rishi.
He is Vishnu.
Narayan Rishi is Vishnu Tattva also then.
Yeah.
And there are two personalities. One is Bhagavan Narayan, and
Yeah.
one is the Narayan Rishi.
Right.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, those are two separate.
There is a question from Mohini. She asks, can you give a short overview about what are Shrutis? Are Upanishad Shrutis? Or are they part?
Shruti is another word for Veda. And Veda has 4 parts. Brahmana, Arnakya, Samhita and Upanishad. So they're all called Shruti or the Veda.